So yeah, we want to talk about that. You know, retention isn't just an afterthought. It's really the fastest path to profit. So we want to hear from you guys, like how you're building brand loyalty and long-term value from that first click. So Ellen, if we can start with you and kind of go down the list, introduce yourself and where you're from.
Hello, I'm Ellen. I am Head of Marketing at Regal Rose, and Regal Rose is an alternative and gothic jewellery brand founded in London, just outside London.
Hi, I'm Mark Green from Parcel Planet. I'm the co-founder and CEO. I recognise I had more hair there. It's after the operation. It'll be worthwhile in a few months. We provide fulfillment services for scaling brands in Dublin, Birmingham, scaling in Europe and into the UK as well. My voice will simmer down after a while. Thank you.
Hi, hello. I am a global senior brand lead within DECIEM. So DECIEM is a business that is recently part of Estée Lauder. It's actually an incubator, so we have several brands, and I work from one of them that is called Neod. But one of the brands that is the most known within DECIEM is The Ordinary.
Hi everybody, I'm Wayne, Global General Manager at Hollywood Browzer Beauty. We are the original dermaplaning hair removal and beauty tools brand in the UK, global trading and 10 years old.
Ellen, we're going to start with you. So Regal Rose has built a brand with a real strong community focus. How are you turning that community into repeat buyers?
Morgan touched on it earlier. I think it's super important to say that it's really not possible for either the product or the marketing alone to bring that repeat customer back, unless it's an exceptional product or it's a basic need that's filled. So it's really important that the product and marketing team have a strong synergy, which is much easier when the teams are smaller or you're one-man band. But as the business begins to scale, it's so important to keep that synergy. Make sure the marketing and informing product and the customer and product informing marketing on the product. And when you get that really nice customer-centric, informed, intentional product, meeting an authentic creative marketing strategy that resonates with the customer that you know, it just works so well. It's not hard to bring that customer back. So I think it's really important to always create that culture and harbour it.
And Mark, why do you believe that post-purchase experience is just as important as acquisition, if not more?
I think because I suppose we see it from a post-purchase. The perfect fulfillment is really to own that post-purchase experience. So I'll probably remind of two situations where we had one customer that did value the post-purchase experience, and I think the other that did not. And where that came through for us as a brand was, we have an onboarding process, and we can always tell who values the post-purchase experience and who doesn't. Once you don't value the post-purchase experience, you don't review with your fulfillment part what you want as an experience. So typically what we see are those that spend the time on delivery. We've talked about before, I think you're looking for 3 options to give your customer that 3-option delivery because it's different in different parts of the country and the delivery time as well. So from that point of view, the post-purchase has a significant impact. If it's going out one end, you're losing it on the CAC as well. And those that spend the time on it with their fulfillment market make a significant impact on the post-purchase, which allows them to grow that and have the impact that the CAC has as well.
And Claire, education is core to brands in the beauty space. Like, how does DECIEM do that to keep the customers engaged over time?
This education is really key, I think, in terms of engagement, but also on delivering this value beyond product for our customer. And actually through education, when a customer understands the step as part of their routine, they kind of become this master of their routine, and that empowers us. And this empowerment basically create consistency compounds into results. And when you have results in the beauty industry, skincare especially, result being kind of repeat purchase. If your product doesn't work, you're not going to repeat this purchase. And in terms of the engagement, kind of work around this system of like kind of the 4C of like engagement, where we have the first is like confidence. And that's the first in education. When you understand your ingredient, when you understand your routine, you get way more confident. Then you have the competence part of it, which is all about, okay, I know my routine, I know how to apply my product. And then you move on to like control, in the sense that is like, okay, life is three things that you, but you can adapt these routine to your lifestyle. And finally, and we just discuss it, is this, the last C is community. When you have this result, you want to share with your friends, with your family, with just your community, and that create engagement and deeper connection with the brand.
And Wayne, what are the top strategies that you've used for re-engaging those first-time buyers and turning them into loyal customers?
Yeah, so this year we've had a big focus, I guess. So 2 keywords on tradition and tech. So I think finding the balance with traditional methods and new innovations and tech is really important, but also don't lose sight of the traditions. People would have said many years ago, I think, that traditional PR, newspapers has lost its way, but like everything, vinyl records, cassettes, etc., it all comes back round. So our approach is very much about the balance. For us, there's an importance in literature, which knocks into education, inspire, and how to galvanize the troops. And then I think how you blend those traditional concepts within tech is really important to get the balance correct. For us, there's been a big focus on reviewing our tech stack. So we've introduced a number of new apps, got rid of a few poor performers as well. So a big part of our retention has also been how we re-engage with new concepts like fill the bundles, subscribe and save methods, and then how that message actually gets delivered through traditionalisms as well, whether that's through direct response television and direct mail campaigns, and not losing sight of the power of PR that you can blend into those campaigns and stories as well. I'll touch on WhatsApp in a bit, but that's been another key part of a trial that we're going through at the moment.
It's really important that you don't forget all of your tech stack once it's installed, and that you keep on looking back into it, refreshing it, like optimizing it. Otherwise, it can just get a bit stagnant, can't it? And Ellen, let's talk a little bit about influence marketing and loyalty programs. How have you used that to fuel retention without it feeling too transactional to your audience?
I think there's really exciting influencer marketing and loyalty, the integration between it and the potential there. I think there's a very obvious way to just get the awareness of the brand through influencers, and even just using your influencers whenever you do introduce anything new to a loyalty program or to the brand adds that awareness. So they are extensions of your brand. Seen great success with that with the brand I'm with now, previously as well. And then taking it like a little bit deeper, when you find that there is influencers that your customers are loving, whether that be through post-purchase surveys, affiliate codes, UTMs, start to feature them in your loyalty campaigns, start to feature them in maybe like create edits every like quarter, or even go a little bit further, have they doing master classes with your community, like really bringing the end part of the brand. It's amazing to see so many founder-led brands leverage an influencer from the founder side, but I think there's also the way to do that where the founders are not so influential, or not that they're not influential, but they're not forward being influential, to leverage the influencer you work with.
And Mark, could you walk us through what the impacts of fulfillment on retention looks like? So what does investing in that post-purchase journey really look like?
I suppose when I think of something like that, I'm probably thinking of a particular client that we have currently across both sites. And like that, they were facing a retention issue from the point of view that the retention, they wanted to increase it by about 20%. And they recognized the post-purchase experience just wasn't hitting the mark. So they came to us and asked for our help on that, because if you think about a fulfillment center itself, it has a depth of knowledge and a depth of data that it can pool. Can't give the exact specifics, but we know what works because we've seen it we have enough samples across both facilities, in our case, to actually impart that knowledge. So they make one significant change. And that one significant change yielded them a 38% increase in retention. But it was a very small change. The brand itself was a male grooming brand, quite a competitive space. The usual story, started from a back kitchen, grew up, had phenomenal success. But they felt that they could gain more by improving on their retention. So what he did was, we have a feature within, which is called a marketing link. So we believe that if our clients increase their volume, so will we. It's a symbiotic relationship. So with that, we noticed that they weren't using the marketing pick. I said, what the hell are you doing? It's free. We don't charge you for this. So they did, and they put in a note, and that note in itself, they reckon generated that 38%. And all that note said was just two simple words. Thank you. Just thank you. I mean, it's the simplest things. Now, we did give his founder story. It grew the emotion within the customer base that he had. And with that, then they saw a 38% increase in the retention. But that was from sitting down and actually working with their fulfillment center, because they should be the experts in the post-purchase experience. We've got the data, we've got the knowledge, and he leveraged on that. It was just sitting down as a team. And that's really where you can see the synergy between the two then.
And Claire, what role does social media play in building those deeper relationships within your community?
Very, very important. First of all, we know that social media is super encouraging when it comes to discoverability. We know that a lot of the discoverability is happening on TikTok, for example. So that's your top funnel. But we also see that really social media can show, and again, we're going back to education, but it can show how you can use your product and integrate it into your own lifestyle, and it's so much stronger than an upsell. I think the second point would be as well, and I think it's Morgan this morning touched on it, but also James earlier from Radio City. It's a really, really big platform to do like social listening, understand your customer, because every DM, every comments where they speak about their challenge, their pain points, how the product out there, or how you can improve your product to serve them better, is a way to get information, but then to build content around this pain point and these challenges, and therefore to be extremely relevant to them, and that deepen the relationship, and that also keep them engaged, because it's not just content when you sell your product. It's like education without string attached, because you're not, again, doing this upsell, and that build trust within the customer. And finally, I would say you can, within those platforms, do two type of content. Again, you have this more fast contents that is all built on trend, and that builds a top funnel, so you get to be known. But the retention actually happen if it's a slow content, which is all about your education, your carousel, that you kind of track with your like saved and shares. And I think that's really how you build this very intimate connection with your community and with your customer.
And Wayne, have you got any tips on how you can like personalize that post-purchase communication, and what's worked well for you guys in building that trust and repeat sales?
Yes, I'll answer the latter part first. I think for us this year, our focus has definitely been on the trust element, in how we've built trust with other organizations or partners, first and foremost. So those certainly would be in the retail space, and two of our kind of bigger built relationships this year have been within the cosmetics body of CEW and the Buy Women Build community. And for us, having Amy, who's a woman in business, a female entrepreneur, we navigate the London landscape quite well. But also the power through those two communities has really helped us
elevating not only our founder, but also our messaging, our content, and our authority through campaigns. So for us, a focus there has been around our brand partnerships and focuses within brands within those platforms. I would say our successes outside of social media have been more around collaborations with brands through email campaigns, where we see a greater advantage and a greater uptake that feels a bit more real and true. I think that you can identify with those customers very clearly. For us, the content strategy is kind of in the process of changing slightly, really, with regards to the traditionalism of press and email, but then the introduction of WhatsApp, which is a very different community and a very different language to express the same content that you might see across other channels, but how you talk to a different generation that is now adopting a brand new channel. That's an important piece of the pie that I know Abby and the team are going to talk about later. So yeah, watch this space with WhatsApp. It's coming fast.
It's really exciting. It's always exciting to have a new channel into the next thing. Yeah. Ellen, how are you balancing storytelling with conversion when it comes to long-term brand loyalty?
I think it's super important to not dilute your brand, your product, your story for any sort of menial trends or anything that might build your vanity number. It's really apparent to me and also to consumers, I believe, when brands are just regurgitating what is trendy or what has worked for another brand. So stay true to yourself, stay true to your customer. Knowing your customer really well will help with that massively. And then that also means that when trends do come along that do suit your brand, you can jump on them and that your customer should be in there. Yeah, I definitely think it's just about not diluting your brand, your product, what you believe in.
Yeah. And Matt, can you tell us what a truly collaborative 3PL partnerships look like when retention is the goal?
Yeah, I suppose we come across it on a very regular basis where I think Lonnie, the commercial director, has a great base. And in choosing your fulfillment partner, it shouldn't be like choosing a gym. What's local? What's the cheapest? I'll take that. It shouldn't be that. If we've a focus, I suppose, internally, starting the business, it's been very much focused on A players. If you've A players, you get an A team. So with that, what we're trying to do is bring in some Series A players into the business so the brands that we have can actually leverage up that experience and can grow faster. And I'm probably reminded of one particular brand that was expanding out of the UK. Premium brand, multiple SKUs, significant SKUs actually. You think about 2,500 SKUs and wanted to expand into Ireland, had a base and wanted to compound on that. So the part should really start with how can they expand into Ireland and then springboard into Europe. And it very much started from the onboarding process, which is identifying the channel. To hear an awful lot about omni-channel. That was a significant portion of their business, and we already had them in place. So it is taking all of those off between the various retail channels versus wholesale channels and B2B channels as well. Along with that, then again, it was coming down to the delivery, knowing exactly what they wanted on the delivery for the experience for the customer as well. And with that, they're experiencing now just over 200% year-on-year growth. We review with them every month. Every single month, and review the stats, review our SLA, but then the stats, and then also it's a case of, right, review the stats from an SLA point of view, but then how can we improve? What are the new innovations that have come through either with courier partners, with the likes of the integration, channels, all of that, because we need them to grow as well. And that really is that partnership approach. It should be like having an A player employee. You would spend time with them, you would develop them. That's how it should be from a partnership point of view, to actually get the most and get best out of it.
So you'll get longevity with it all as well, and both sides are working in sync together and want to grow.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And Claire, what's one thing that you think most beauty brands are overlooking when it comes to retention?
I will say onboarding, and because after the first purchase, I think you don't really hear for the brand after the first purchase. However, we know that the hardest is actually the second purchase. And if you manage to get the second sale, loyalty tend to increase. So welcome program or annual program are extremely important. Usually we tend to have, like, for example, 50% off to kind of build this relationship. But could we again build this relationship through the right contents that are problem orientated, or if it's a discount, could you receive a discount that is more product orientated rather than the food brand, so that we can see that the brand understand me, the brand understand my concern, and I have more an intimate a customer at building this intimate relationship or this deeper relationship. And I think that's where actually personalization is really critical, especially within beach brands.
And Wayne, last question for you. What's the top tactics that you guys have used that have worked beyond traditional discounting to build loyalty?
I think for us has been remaining true to ourselves to a degree, and having the confidence to continue to be the original brand that launched the category into the UK, to stand by our numbers, 50,000 plus 5-star reviews across the board, over 50 sellout shows on home shopping, 5 million units sold annually across the globe. So we reinforce the messaging really, rather than doing, to a degree, new tactics. A new tactic that is coming for us is the concept of personalization, but through building the customers' bespoke bundles, so it becomes more of an experience purchase in the digital space. When we hopefully we'll do some pop-ups, I think that will allow us to also really bring that kind of big mix approach to life. So for us, it's been an important milestone.
Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining me.